With the price of ADA absolutely skyrocketing, on the brink of this major update coming out about smart contracts and what we can expect from the future, we're going to take a look, of course, at what all is going on with the charts, what we can expect going forward, what some of my anticipations and my price targets are, and I'll, of course, let you know what exactly I'm going to be doing personally, whether I'll be holding, selling, buying, or just simply just sitting back and watching to see all of this absolute madness play out, because it's been a very, very amazing ride so far. So with that being said, of course, let's go ahead and let's get straight into the video. So what we've seen, of course, today has just been absolutely phenomenal. Of course, whenever we did make our first video this week, we were sitting right around that $1.50 mark. I did say that if we were able to break that $1.50 and hold it as support to establish that next daily candle, that I truly thought we would be able to reach about $1.80. Now, I know people were talking about, Tyler, that's a 20% gain in just a few days. It's highly unlikely. I'm like, just trust me. Every single time that we clear that $1.50 range, we just shoot to $1.80. It happens almost every single time within a few days. And so that's exactly what happened. We did then reach this red box in which we had drawn out, which was our resistance. Now, this was composed of multiple Fibonacci extensions off of these swing highs, as well as our Fibonacci retracement from our all-time high down to our July 20th, swing low. Of course, that did create this box of resistance that I said if we were able to then clear it, that I truly thought we would then be able to work our way back up to about $2.16 to $2.17, and it does seem like that is playing out very well. Now, currently, of course, we are starting to see massive green candles, and of course, that doesn't tell that we're possibly going to see a bit of a slowdown soon here, but until that slowdown happens, I'm not just going to keep saying over and over that it's going to happen, because we've seen in the past that sometimes these charts just go absolutely insane, right? Currently on our very last trade, I actually did buy ADA on July 19th. I did show you guys in the just a little preview of the Patreon and the Discord in the last video, so definitely go check it out. But we did buy it at about $1.06, and since then it is currently up about 94 cents. So that's been a very successful trade. It's one that I still am fully in on. I'm like maybe thinking about taking a small piece of the initial investment or the profits out, just because it was such a massive run. A cooldown could come, but at the end of the day, I'm holding this thing because I truly do believe $3.40 is not that far away. And so with that being said, of course, let's go ahead and let's get into that. So what I'm expecting to see coming forward is, of course, if we're sitting in probably one of the biggest regions of resistance that exist within trading. That 0.618 to that 0.786, this green box that you see right here is one of the highest levels of resistance that you're going to see, of course, because it dictates, are we seeing a reversal when we clear this zone, or are we seeing a retracement when we can't clear this zone? It dictates it so strong, and so it basically goes to say, with all this big money and these retail investors, institutional investors, and everyone just total, we do know that if they want this thing to go up, if the big money wants this thing to go up, if we're going to enter into a bull market, if we can get the crowd together and we can get the sentiment right, then when we clear the zone, it's game time. Like, we're on, right? But if people aren't ready, if these big fish start to take profits here, if they're starting to try to get out because they don't think it's going to last, then of course this does serve as one of the highest levels of take profit zones, because people are expecting it to retrace off of it, of course. So will we see a possible pullback at some point here? Sure, I think that's very possible, but at the end of the day, my breakout target is still going to be right sitting at about $2.19. If we are able to clear $2.19 to $2.20, I honestly do believe that we are not too far from $3.40. And I know that's a big jump. It's a big difference, especially from the dollar that we were at last week. But based off of some of the different things we'll talk about in a second here, I think it's very, very highly likely within the realm of possibility. Okay, so currently speaking, what are we looking at and what is going on? So of course, as I did say, our $2.20 range, that is going to be my breakout target at the moment. Now let me explain to you where I got this red box from, because you guys know I like the little red box because it gives me my resistance, it gives me my breakout targets, my support, or anything like that. Okay, so how I made this red box, of course, is the bottom of the red box is going to be our 0.786 on our long-term swing high, our all-time high, all the way down to our swing low. And so with that being said, of course, that is going to be one of the most important levels that we do know whenever it comes to Fibonacci retracements, because realistically, whenever you can clear that and whenever you can establish support, the likelihood of you then being able to work your way back up to setting that new high off the swing high in which you did establish, the swing high up here, highly likely. Okay, so of course, that's going to be a very important level that we want to clear. Well, of course, I did set this $2.20. It's about $2.20 if we do go ahead and move that up. There we go, $2.20, $2.21. We can see, there we go, $2.20. We can see that that is going to be based off of our last Fibonacci extension before we start to work on this one, which is absolutely beautiful. So you guys do know I pay close attention to our Fibonacci extensions and how we do extend off of them. So basically speaking, if we do go ahead, let's take the swing high and let's drag this all the way down. You guys can see that if we start to look at some of these Fibonacci extension levels, we use the Fibonacci extensions off these short-term swing high, swing lows to reach our retracement levels on our long-term swing high, swing lows. Okay, and so what that basically is going to look like is we're going to just drag the swing swing high to every single one of these extension levels until we clear all of them, and then we start to look for our long-term retracements, right? And so what that goes to show is that we are currently looking at our very last one. This last little wick, this last little spike, this bounce here is going to be our last Fibonacci extension to start to get us back over our all-time high. And so what you can see is, of course, the bottom of this box is going to be that 786, and that's going to be around $2.17, and then the top of this box is going to be about $2.20. So the top of this box is at $2.20, and that's going to be a representation of the 1.272 Fibonacci extension. And so what that goes to mean is that as we do start to work our way up, and as we do clear our previous high, so as we clear this last swing high down to swing low, what's going to generally happen is that you are going to be able to work your way up to your Fibonacci extensions. Of course, the first one being a 1.272, then our next one being our 1.618. Those are two very key extensions that we typically will be able to execute when you again surpass that high there. And so what I'm expecting to happen is that if we are then able to work our way back up, even if there is a bounce, even if we do see a cool down and we continue upward, I'm still expecting that we're going to be able to execute on that 1.272. And then of course, if that does happen, that then puts us in an availability, and we can see that there's another high likelihood of us being able to reach our 1.618. And then of course, as you can see, if we were able to reach our 1.618, that puts us above our all-time high. And if we clear our all-time high, I still firmly believe $3.40 is on the way. Now, if you don't know why I'm saying $3.40 so much, of course, definitely do go check out my video where I said, well, A to Cardano's price reached $3.40, which basically I talk about the fact that if that is the case, I think we will start to reach our extension levels. I think we'll start to be able to push off of our extension from this big swing high all the way down to that swing low, in which we did see. And once we do retrace all the way back up to our 1.618, that puts us right around $3.40. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at. That's still my goals. That's still what I want to see this thing do. And of course, I want to see that get executed. I want to see this 1.272 get executed, or 1.618 get executed. And of course, that puts us at a new all-time high. Now, on the way, there may be some pullbacks, and I think that's very normal. You know, a lot of people do start to freak out a bit whenever we see the price start to slow down. And I'm like, listen, we just went up 100%, right? We see this, I think we said it, what, earlier, about 90%, 96 something percent, 100%, right? From the very bottom to the top right, 100%. Of course, it's going to slow down. At some point, it'll slow down. So where is it going to slow down to? Of course, that's never 100% guaranteed. You can never really know. Personally speaking, I think what would be optimal in terms of a slowdown is if we do go ahead and we drag our swing high back up to our all-time high again. The optimal level of support at the moment would for sure be our 0.618, which is going to be represented by the top of this box. And just for price labels, that is going to be right around $1.90. Of course, I would say that'd be the first level that I'd like to see. If we do fall back, if we could hold that, that would be absolutely fantastic, because that keeps us within our realm of retracement. It still goes to show us that we're still in this green zone, which we of course want to clear. And that is such a strong level of resistance generally that when you clear it, you want to see it established as support. Now, even if we do start to see a breakdown and we really start to see the loss of some of these levels, it's not the end of the day. And a lot of people start to freak out. A lot of people would say, this is it. That was a dead cat bounce. This is going to be the end of the world. And realistically, there's still a high likelihood that if we do lose that level, that we start to interact with some of our daily EMAs. Now, I do have our 20, 50, 100, and 200-day EMA pulled up at the moment, and I would not be surprised whatsoever that if we do start to lose some of these levels, that we do come down and interact with some of these different EMAs, because that's just what it does, right? I mean, we can go back out, we can look at this on the way up, come in here. Look at this. Every time we would extend, extension, 20 EMA, extension, 20 EMA, extension, 20 EMA, lost it, recovered, back, 20 EMA. And you see, we always interact with many of these EMAs on the way up. And so if that was the case, there's no reason why if we started to fall, that would be a bad thing. It's what we do all the time, okay? And so definitely pay attention that if we start to fall, for example, and we start to lose our EMA, say we lose every single one other than the 200. Realistically, we shouldn't lose the 200 unless we're really in a bear cycle, and then it'll be pretty obvious at that point, of course. But say we start to come down and we start to lose, right? Like we lose the 20, we lose the 50, and we lose the 100, and we start to bounce below them as we did back here, okay? That's still not the end of the world. What would be the end, kind of quote unquote, the end of the world for me personally is if we were to come back down and set a new lower low than what we set here, which would of course be below $1. Now, the reason I do say that is because we are still executing well on Elliott's wave theory. Of course, we did set a bit of a higher low here. It's about 1 cent, but it is still a higher low. And so we can see that we have our wave, of course, 1, wave 2, wave 3, and if we came back down, of course, and we set a lower low here, that does break this. It does break the uptrend in a way, and from there, of course, that does mean that a reversal is likely and that we're going to continue downward. So even if we come down and we set a low, boom, all the way back down at $1.14, we are still executing on Elliott's wave theory, which basically is just going to make sure that we are meeting our different highs and meeting our different lows, setting the higher highs, not setting the lower lows, of course. And so what we do want to see is that even if we do lose some of those levels, as long as we can go down and set a higher low than the previous low we set, which is about $1, I'm still good. Like, I'm still gravy. I'm not going to be too worried about it. Of course, it would be a bit concerning, but I wouldn't be stressed out to the point to say that this is 100% over. Of course, we do just want to pay close attention to that. So again, at the moment, just to break it down and keep it simple, I'm just looking to see that we can reach over $2.20. It may be a bumpy ride. We may start to see a fall back down to $1.90. And again, if we lose that, we may be looking at an interaction with one of our EMAs. So I will be updating you all on what exactly happens whenever it starts to fall and we start to meet some levels, or it starts to climb and we break 220, because you guys do know that I'm under the firm belief that if we do that, that $3 is really not too far away, especially with the value that may be included with whatever update we do get today. So definitely stay tuned. I will update you guys ASAP on any movements or any big updates that do come out. Of course, if you did enjoy today's video, I know it was a little bit more brief. It was a little bit more of just a summary of what all we've talked about and what I'm still expecting. But I know just getting these updates to you all so you can stay up to date, on a daily basis is something you do value. And I do value being able to bring that content to you. So of course, again, if you did enjoy today's video, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel if you are new. With that being said, I post on this channel 1 to 2 times every single day, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.